had a very, very good experience.
Traumatic.
We rent a motorbike 4x4 and it was horrendous. I hate it. And then I made Simon go back and get a car.
Yeah, we've done about 10 kilometres on it. It was horrendous. This is awful.
So uncomfortable. And these roads are just up on the hill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good drops through that way, each side of the road. Oh, and you kept grabbing hold of me. Hey!
It was so windy.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Right old bone shaker that was.
Yeah.
So
that was the beginning and the end of renting motorcycles.
Yeah, okay.
On this trip.
And now we've got the beautiful Yaris. We're here in Shipwreck Bay and we were planning on going for a swim and basically, you know, snorkeling diving on the wreck there, but I think this is not worth the risk.
No, it's too
Bumpy. Tell me what you're doing again.
I'm putting the numbers of the boat. Register boat. Boat register. They're very soft, the letters. So we are in Amorgos, waiting for a weather window to leave this island. It's been 4 days since we're here.
Yeah, and
It's going to be another 3, 4.
we're starting to get tempted to go, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we're going to sit out tomorrow.
It's still blowing a lot.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to have a chat with the people that have come in today. We will be sort of broad reaching downwind, but I don't want to get out there and then go, oh my god, I wish I was still here. One mistake. That would be awful, wouldn't it? We've been here in Amorgos for over a week because the Meltemi is still blowing. Which brings to the point is, why does it blow and why is it so bad? So I'm going to give you my interpretation, which I stand to be corrected, but here you go. Now, this is a high pressure point, and it's an H for high pressure, and the wind comes out of the high pressure like this, and it spirals. Now at the moment this is located up here over kind of the Baltics and over Hungary and places like that. Now this is another plate, IKEA's best, and this is a low pressure system. So the wind is spinning out of it like this. Now this one is way up here over the Black Sea and just sort of sitting north of Turkey at the moment. So as these two spin, the wind comes down here into the Greek islands like this, and basically it joins together, and that's what happens, which is fine. So now we have this funnel of wind coming through here. The problem is these islands are in the way. So as the wind approaches the islands, they can't go through the island. So when the wind hits an island, so that's the sea, and then we get an island that does this. And they're quite high, these a lot of these Greek islands. So the wind's blowing like this, and more wind is piling in here, lower down, like that. Now this wind has to go over the island, obviously. So the ones at the lower level are going to come up here, go over here, come down here, and go on like that. Now the layers in between, they can't just go up because of the weight of the air above it. So as they come through this gap, they become compressed. So this air here becomes compressed, and as it's compressed it actually has to move much faster, and that's why we find on the lower side of the island here the wind is much stronger than over here, and it works in exactly the same way as the wind goes round the island. So if we take an island like Naxos, which is kind of this sort of shape, the wind approaches, it runs straight down there, it runs straight down there, but when it comes here it gets compressed that way. And exactly the same over here. So the zone, as we refer to it as the acceleration zone, on this side of the island will be much stronger, this wind, than on the entrance, and this is what we fear the most as yachtsmen, because you can hit this very quickly and it can be an extra 20 knots. So when they say the wind's going to be 25 knots, you could probably find in an area like this it could be as high as 45 knots. So that's why we need to be careful of what we're doing. When we leave here, Amorgos, we were going to go out this way, but we're probably going to come down to this island here, Astipalia, which is probably entirely wrong. But they've got some very good anchorages on this south coast. But equally, this area here, between these two headlands, have very strong winds. So that's going to be a bit tricky. But I think we'd be better off coming down here, and hopefully we can take this northwesterly wind. So we're pretty well on a very broad reach. we left Amorgos this morning, and we were going to go out of the main harbour and turn to the right to the east, but go around the top of the island. But it was extremely bumpy, and we realised we were in for at least 2 hours of motoring against the headwind. So we turned round and departed the island to the southwest around the headland. And to start with, we had the Genoa out. Then we took the Genoa in and put the Code Zero up as we went around the headland and started to bear away. And during that period, we were doing 8.2, 8.3 knots just with the Genoa out. Just with the Code Zero. We've carried the Code Zero quite a long way actually, but we've got about 7 or 8, 10 miles to go, and we had a bit of a lull in between, so we landed up with the mainsail and the Genoa wrap, packed up the Code Zero, but we're hurtling along at about 6.5 to 7 knots, passing an island off Fidaposa, something like that. So we came out of Amorgos here, and we got out into the open sea, and we were going to come up this way and around the top, but we decided, because the wind was coming down from here, to come around the bottom and down. So that was about an hour out to all those rocks there. And then another hour, and you can follow my route across. And we are currently just after these rocks here on this island, these rocks on this island, we've just passed there. And we have this island here, Astripalia, on our port side. And we're going to come in and around here and drop our anchor.
Hi guys, we are here in Rhodes, Lindos. We have been here for the last 4 days.
4 days, yep.
But because we just like it, it's just beautiful, this bay.
It's a beautiful bay.
Wonderful.
It's like a kind of figure-of-8 bay with a beach or two, and also some beautiful rocks here. And in the evenings, the goats come along and eat their evening
and we have a
supper.
wonderful sleep here because it's just the boat doesn't move at all during the night, so it's just wonderful. We have had my brother and my sister-in-law here for the last 10 days.
Yep.
Which was lovely to have them on board, but now it's just the two of us
Just
again.
the two of us, they've gone, and we're just looking back on the video, thinking about the motorcycle incident, the four-wheel drive motorcycle.
Which I don't like it.
No, Carla really doesn't like motorcycles,
No.
and I won't tell you the story about when I bought one day, a couple of years ago, out of the blue. Anyway, we went to Shipwreck Bay,
Yes.
and Shipwreck Bay was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was interesting, but was very windy.
Very windy that day.
I don't know if it's normally like that there.
Well, if the
Probably.
Meltemi is blowing,
Yeah.
it would be, yeah.
Mm.
That's why it landed up on the shore, because it dragged its
Because-
anchor in the Meltemi. But that was really interesting, and the soil was so red there with the iron ore in the rock. And in fact, we landed up getting it on the boat, and we've got little rust patches.
Yeah, which has been hard to take it off.
Yeah, we just got it up on our feet, didn't we? Really?
Yeah,
we didn't
probably.
even know, a bit of
No.
mud, and we've got little rust spots over the
Yeah.
back of the boat. And I hope I kind of explain why the Meltemi is quite a major wind that blows here, mainly in July and August, but it does start in June and goes through till September. We haven't actually had any for the last week. The winds have been quite
10
light.
days, yeah.
Yeah.
Very light winds,
Yeah.
yes.
And I stand to be corrected if I've got it wrong. Please,
Yeah,
somebody
just-
with more experience than me, please let me know, and I will correct that. But looking through it, I think that's basically how the Meltemi winds formed and why they are so scary at times. And particularly in places in the pilot books, it says be warned of the south coast of Crete, for example, where the gusts can come at you very, very quickly.
And they
But-
do.
But what it does give you is a fantastic sail.
It does.
And we did have a
If you are on the
cracking
right
sail.
direction.
Yeah, if you're going in the right direction. But when we were going from Amorgos down to
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Astipalan,
Astipalaya.
the sail was a
Amazing.
fantastic sail.
Yeah, amazing.
And hopefully tomorrow we're going to get a good sail on a reach down to an island towards
Yeah, it's a
Crete.
10-hour journey we have, isn't it?
10 hours
So we're
tomorrow.
going to leave very early in the morning.
Yeah, 6 o'clock we're going to be. So thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, for following us. We noticed that our viewings they've gone up.
Enormously. Thank you
Yes,
very
so
much.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate if you can keep following us. We really appreciate because we are really enjoying making these videos
Yeah.
and having this live.
Yeah.
It's just amazing we can share with you.
Subscribe, give us a
Yes,
thumbs up, and
if you want to go to Patron's website where we have some really nice rewards.
there's more videos there. There's some videos about us just talking about our feelings and what's happened and how we've come to be on the boat and various things like that, which
we
are free to
call-
patrons.
yeah, which we call
Ramblings.
but
yeah.
it's just on the Patron's website.
Okay, so thank you very much,
Thank you
and
very
goodbye
much.
for now.
Lovely.
Bye.